If you wanted to measure the intelligence of the people in this lecture, would the size of the participants' feet be an appropriate measure of intellect? So how would you more accurately measure students' intelligence? Perhaps it's your university GPA, scores on an IQ test and so forth. Similarly, if I wanted to measure the depression in the elderly, their running speed would probably not be a good indicator. A better indicator might be the number of times they cried in the last 2 weeks, or a person's score on the Beck Depression Inventory. While these may seem obvious, psychologists have spent much time questioning the validity of the Myers-Briggs type indicator, the TAT or the thematic apperception test, or the Rorschach ink blot, and whether they tap into personality in the same way as a reliable and valid assessment such as the Minnesota Multiphasic Personality Inventory or the MMPI-2. Similarly, if a questionnaire we're administering claims to be a valid measure of introversion, but studies show that it's actually really measuring anxiety, then this measure is not valid. Or if a questionnaire is claiming to measure intelligence, but it's actually measuring motivation, then its validity is compromised. Validity is the extent to which a measure assesses what it claims to measure. Do the items about extroversion measure extroversion? Do all of the items measure this thing we call personality? Does the intelligence test actually measure intelligence? You can see that this all comes back to the importance of knowing what our theory and definitions are, because that will influence how we develop the assessment and therefore how valid it is. If your scores on the end of semester examination in this unit were based on what colour your hair was, or on the test of general intelligence, then it would not be a valid test of your learning in this unit. To help us determine whether an assessment measures what it's actually intended to measure, there are different types of validity we can look at. These include construct validity, face validity, content validity, and criterion-related validity. Let's look at these in turn.